Imagine being invited somewhere not to be honored, not to be respected, but to be embarrassed in front of a whole crowd. That was what happened to Anna. Anna worked as a janitor. She cleaned floors, wiped windows, carried trash, and kept quiet. Most people didn't see her. Some walked past her like she was not even there. To many of them, she was almost like part of the building furniture. So when the invitation came, it felt strange, almost like a dream. It was the wedding of the powerful CEO and the most arrogant woman Anna had ever seen in her life. But what Anna did not know was that this invitation carried poison. It was not a gift, it was a trap. But life has a funny way of turning things around, because on that wedding day, the woman they expected to laugh at, the one they thought would be the joke, walked in like a queen. What happened next? Nobody could have imagined. Before we begin, tell us where you are watching from. Drop it in the comments. Enjoy the story. The sound of heels clicked across the shiny marble floor. The floor was so clean that it reflected the bright crystal lights hanging from the ceiling. Expensive cars kept driving in and out of the building's private entrance. Inside that tall office tower, money was everywhere. People did not just have wealth, they showed it off proudly. Workers moved around fast, talking on phones, carrying leather bags, discussing big business deals. Everyone there looked like they belonged, except Anna. She wore old cleaning gloves and pushed her cleaning cart slowly. Her head was always down, but her back stayed straight. She was 42 years old. Her hands showed her whole life story, full of work, pain, sacrifice, and strength. She knew every part of that building, every stain, every window, every quiet corner. And funny enough, she also knew many secrets. People liked to talk when they thought nobody was listening, and Anna always said to herself, when people don't notice you, you hear everything. But there was one person who always made sure Anna remembered her place: Clara. Clara was the CEO's wife. She was young, beautiful, rich, and very rude. She walked around like she owned the building and the people inside it. Her heels were always designer, her makeup was always perfect, her smile was cold. One day, she looked at Anna and said, "Be careful where you clean. This floor costs more than your entire life." Anna swallowed the insult. She needed her job. Bills don't care about pride. Life doesn't stop because someone disrespects you. But today felt different. Clara's eyes looked sharper, colder, crueler. Anna noticed Clara walking toward her with some of her friends. They were all the same, proud, loud, and looking down on others. Clara held a small cream-colored box and walked like she was showing off. Anna quietly stepped aside like she always did. She did not want trouble, but she didn't know that what was about to happen would change everything. Clara crossed her arms and gave that fake smile, the type that looked friendly but carried danger. Her friends tried not to laugh. Anna gripped the rag in her hand tighter. Whenever Clara came close, it was never for anything good. "Haven't seen you much lately, Anna. Hiding from me?" Clara tapped the fancy envelope in her hand. "Well, I have something for you, a little surprise." She pulled out the envelope. It was thick, cream-colored, sealed with gold, the kind of invitation poor people never receive. Anna stared at it. Something inside her warned her. This was not kindness. Clara smiled like a cat playing with a small bird. "Here you go. It's an invitation. Victoria and I are getting married this Saturday at the Grand Magnolia Estate. And guess what? You're invited." Her friends giggled. One almost choked on her laughter. "Not everyone gets invited to something like this," Clara added proudly. For a moment, Anna froze. A wedding invitation? To their wedding? She looked at the envelope again, then at Clara, and that was when she noticed it clearly. This was not a gift. It was a plan, a wicked plan. Clara smiled wider. "Wear anything you like. Just try not to come in that uniform. We don't want the staff thinking you're one of them." Her friends burst into loud laughter. "Or maybe she can help clean after the party," one said, and they laughed again. Anna squeezed the envelope so hard her fingers hurt. Her face felt hot, her chest felt tight, but she refused to cry or bow her head. With a calm voice, she said only 2 words, "Thank you." Clara was shocked for a second. Anna walked away and held the envelope like it was something heavy. For the first time in many years, something changed inside her. It wasn't anger, it wasn't sadness, it was bigger. She looked at the golden letters. They said, "You are invited to the wedding of Clara Collins and Victoria Miles, Saturday, 5 p.m., Grand Magnolia Estate, black tie." Black tie, meaning expensive gowns, high heels, jewelry, things Anna did not own. She finally understood. It wasn't an invitation, it was a trap, a public humiliation, a cruel joke meant to make Anna look foolish in front of everybody. It was a social ambush designed not just to embarrass her, but to make her the main topic of their wicked joke. The Grand Magnolia was not just any place, it was the place. It was big, famous, beautiful, and very expensive. It was where rich people went to celebrate themselves. People like Anna never went there. People like Anna were not even hired to deliver food there. So being invited as a guest sounded impossible. Up on the second-floor balcony, Clara stood with a glass of champagne. She looked down at the people below like a hunter watching its prey. "Do you think she will really come?" one of Clara's friends asked nervously. Clara laughed softly. "If she comes, it will be the highlight of my night. I can't wait to see everyone's faces when Victoria's little janitor walks in, thinking she belongs here." She lifted her champagne glass with a proud smile. "Honestly, I'm even curious. Do you think she even knows what black tie means?" Down below, Anna stood still. She stared at the envelope in her hands. Her heart felt heavy. Her feelings were mixed. She felt shame, she felt anger, but deep inside, something stronger was growing. A fire, a bold courage, a strength she had not felt in years. For a moment, she thought about tearing the invitation apart. She thought about throwing it straight into the trash. She thought about pretending it never happened. But then she saw her reflection in the glass door. She saw her tired eyes, her worn uniform, her rough hands, and she whispered to herself, "They think I am nobody. They think I don't belong. They think I am less than them." Her grip tightened, her jaw locked. "Maybe," she said quietly, "it is time they remember who I really am." Anna climbed the 3 flights of stairs to her small apartment. The elevator had been broken for weeks. Every step felt like she was carrying rocks on her shoulders. She opened the door. The smell of vanilla candles and old coffee filled the room. It felt warm and sad at the same time. She dropped her bag on the sofa. She sat on the bed, and for the first time in many years, she cried. She cried for the insults, she cried for the laughter, she cried for all the years people acted like she didn't matter. She touched the envelope slowly. The gold letters still shined. They didn't fade, they didn't disappear, just like the pain inside her chest. Her thoughts battled inside her head. If I go, they will laugh at me. I will be the joke just like they planned. But if I don't go, it will feel like I agree with them, like I believe I really don't belong anywhere. Her eyes moved toward a picture on the wall. It was crooked, old, faded. It was her mother, simple dress, big smile, strong eyes. Her mother always said, "Dignity is something people give you. It is something you carry, even when nobody believes in you." Then a memory hit Anna's heart, a memory she tried to bury for years, a life she promised herself never to remember. Because Anna was not always a janitor. She walked to the cupboard and pulled out a small wooden box. Her hands shook. She placed it on the bed. She opened it. Inside were old pictures, but not pictures of this life. In those photos, Anna looked different, confident, happy, standing tall, smiling in beautiful dresses, taking pictures with community leaders, helping at charity events. Inside the box was also an old certificate. The paper edges were torn, but the name was still bold. Anna Adebayo, founder and director, Adebayo Foundation. Her fingers touched her own name. She stopped breathing for a moment. That was her. That was real. Her father owned businesses. He helped the community. He gave people jobs. He mentored young boys. He built schools. Her mother was a respected teacher, a woman of honor. Anna grew up with purpose, with love, with leadership. She went to university. She started a foundation. She helped students get scholarships. She gave young people hope. People once respected her until everything collapsed. Money stolen not by her, but in her name. Court cases, debts, lies, shame. Then losing both of her parents, her world shattered piece by piece. Everything disappeared. Her house, her car, her organization, all gone. All she had left was survival. And surviving sometimes means becoming invisible. But now, looking at those pictures, something inside her stood up. "They think I'm only a janitor," she whispered, her back straightened. "They have no idea who I really am." At the bottom of the box was a folded letter. She knew the handwriting immediately. It was from Janet, her best friend from the past, a strong fashion designer, a woman who moved to Atlanta. Janet always told her, "If you ever need me, call. I will come anytime." Anna picked up her phone. Her hands shook. She hovered over the contact. Then she pressed call. The phone rang. Once, twice. Then, "Hello?" The voice sounded shocked. "Anna? Oh my God, is that really you?" Anna closed her eyes. "It's me, Janet. I need help. And I think it's time the world remembers who I am." The next morning, a black SUV parked in front of Anna's building. The back door opened. Janet stepped out, sharp, elegant, strong. Her sunglasses covered half her face. Her suit fit perfectly. Her heels clicked proudly on the ground. She saw Anna and her jaw dropped. Then she smiled warmly. "Oh my God, it's really you." She hugged Anna tightly like she was fixing all the broken pieces. Anna tried to talk, but her voice cracked. "I didn't know who else to call. I am tired of hiding." Janet held her face gently. Her voice was soft but powerful. "No, you did not call for help. You called for a reminder of who you are. And I've got you." Inside the apartment, they spread the old pictures on the table. They opened files. They looked at everything like soldiers planning a battle. Janet opened her sketchbook. "Okay, tell me something. How do you want them to see you when you walk into that wedding?" Anna looked straight ahead. "I want them to see the woman they tried to erase and failed." Janet smiled slowly. She grabbed her tablet. She started sketching fast. Strong shoulders, beautiful lines, a queen-like dress, power, elegance. "Janet, I don't have money for this," Anna started. Janet raised her hand. "Don't insult me. I'm not doing this for money. Women like you do not bow. Not today, not ever." They worked for hours, choosing fabric, picking jewelry from Janet's private vault, planning makeup, planning hair, everything. As the sun began to set, Janet held Anna's hands, looked straight into her eyes, and spoke slowly. "When you walk into that wedding, they will not see a janitor. They will not see a mistake. They will see a queen." Anna smiled softly, but inside her heart, something bigger was waking up. This was not just about a dress. This was not just about makeup or hair. Today, Anna was choosing something much deeper. She was choosing to remember who she truly was. The day of the wedding finally arrived. The sky was bright blue, almost unreal, like someone edited it with a computer. Birds sang, the breeze was soft. It felt like the kind of day rich people believe belongs only to them. The Grand Magnolia estate stood tall and beautiful. It looked like a palace. Expensive cars lined the driveway. Rolls-Royces, Bentleys, Teslas. Women floated around in shiny gowns that cost more than most people earn in one whole year. Men in tuxedos walked with pride, holding glasses of champagne, standing under giant crystal lights that were hanging from the trees. In the middle of all this stood Clara, the queen of the day, smiling, posing, turning for the cameras. Every click of the camera fed her ego. "This wedding is going to be unforgettable," she whispered proudly, adjusting her sparkling crown. Victoria, the CEO, did not look as excited. He kept scrolling on his phone, barely caring about anything around him. Someone whispered beside Clara, "Do you think she will actually come?" Clara laughed loudly and rolled her eyes. Please, that woman knows her place. Trust me, she is not coming." She turned away confidently, but while they were laughing, a black car rolled quietly toward the gate. Slow, calm, elegant. The car stopped. The back door opened. First came the shoes. 6-inch heels. Black, simple, elegant, strong. Then came the dress. A long silk gown, deep black with touches of gold that caught the light. The fabric moved like water as she stepped out. The dress fit perfectly, shaped her gently, not too loud, not too much, just power. A gold scarf sat beautifully across her shoulders, like something worn by royalty. Her hair was braided high up, like a crown. Her earrings were slim gold pieces, not too flashy, but full of presence. Around her neck was a necklace, silver, simple, one single black stone in the center. Not loud, not shouting, but powerful. Her face was calm, no fear, no shame. Only one clear message written across her expression. I know exactly who I am. The whole place went silent. Guests stopped talking. Waiters froze in place. Champagne glasses hung in midair. Even the photographer slowly lowered his camera. Clara felt something shift. She turned around slowly. Her smile faded. Her eyes widened. Her breath caught. Her hand shook slightly because she finally realized this was not funny anymore. Anna began walking, slow, steady, strong. The white carpet beneath her feet felt like her own runway. Every step was confident. Every move was deliberate. Her dress flowed behind her like smoke following fire. Nobody spoke. Only the firm sound of her heels echoed against the marble floors. Then the whispers began, soft, curious. Who is she? Is she someone important? Is she famous? Victoria finally looked up from his phone. His eyes widened. He froze completely. He watched Anna like the world itself had stopped moving. Clara felt heat crawl across her skin. Her stomach twisted. She stepped back a little, then again. Her grip on her bouquet tightened. No, no, this cannot be happening, she whispered under her breath. Anna did not rush. She did not look around nervously. She did not search for approval. She walked like a queen returning home, because this was exactly what it was. When she reached the center of the courtyard, every guest had turned to face her. Phones lifted, cameras flashed. People leaned toward one another, whispering, guessing, wondering, admiring. Clara forced herself to smile. Her lips shook. Her chest felt tight, but she moved forward anyway, fake confidence glued to her face. "Wow," she said, voice sweet on the outside, poison on the inside. "What a surprise seeing you here." Her voice cracked slightly, but she covered it with another smile. "You really dressed up, huh?" Her words were soft, but sharp. Anna turned her head slightly. She gave a tiny smile, a calm smile, a dangerous smile. "Yeah," she said slowly, "I did." Her eyes grew sharp. She looked Clara up and down gently. Then she added quietly, "Shame. All this money can't buy class." A soft gasp moved through the crowd, like a quiet wind. Some people tried to hide their shock with small, nervous laughs. Others just stared with their mouths open, not sure what to say. Clara's face turned bright red. Her hand held her bouquet so tight the flowers almost bent. Her eyes jumped from face to face, like she was searching for someone to rescue her from this moment. "What is she doing here?" she whispered angrily to one of her friends. "Who does she think she is?" Before her friend could answer, an older man stepped forward from the crowd. He had gray hair, a neat suit, and the kind of quiet class that did not need to shout. He leaned forward a little, looking closely at Anna. His eyes grew big. His hand flew to his mouth. "Wait, is that Anna Adebayo?" he asked, his voice shaking. The whole place went silent, truly silent. No music, no quiet talk, nothing. Everyone waited. Anna slowly turned her head and looked at him. Her voice was calm, strong, steady. "Yes," she said, "I am Anna Adebayo." The man stepped back a little, like the air had been knocked out of him. "My God," he whispered, I worked with your father. I worked with him with the Adebayo Foundation. You were the face of it. Where have you been all these years?" Gasps spread across the garden. "Adebayo Foundation," someone whispered. "Is that her?" "No way," another voice said quietly. Clara's legs almost gave out. She struggled to stand properly. Her breaths came quick and shallow. Her hands shook. The truth hit her like a heavy stone. She had tried to disgrace a woman whose name had already blessed whole communities long before this wedding even existed. She had tried to reduce a queen to a clown. Clara moved backwards slowly, the color drained from her face. "No, no, this can't be happening," she muttered so only those near her could hear. All around, the guests started putting the pieces together. They whispered. They looked at Anna. They looked at Clara. Some of them, who had laughed earlier, now looked like they wanted to disappear. The older man stepped closer again. He held Anna's hand tightly with both of his. His eyes were shiny with emotion. "Your father was a legend in this community," he said. "And your mother, my God, what a woman. I had no idea. I had no idea what happened to you." Anna squeezed his hand gently. "Life took me to places I never expected," she said softly. "But there is one thing life did not take from me: who I am." Standing beside Clara, Victoria watched everything. His eyebrows pulled together. His face grew serious. He turned slowly to his wife. "Clara," he said quietly, "what exactly is this?" His voice was low, dangerous, the kind of calm that meant he was truly angry. Clara's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Then she tried again. It was just a joke," she said quickly, "a harmless joke." Victoria's face hardened. "A joke?" he repeated. "You tried to humiliate a woman who has done more for this city, for this community, than half the people at this wedding put together." Clara's hands shook even more. "No, Victoria, it's not like that. You don't understand." But the words stuck in her throat. Anna stepped forward. Her voice was not loud, but it carried across the whole place. "There is no need," she said calmly. "I did not come here for revenge. I did not come here to make anyone feel small." She looked around at the crowd. Her eyes moved from face to face. "I came for me," she said, "and maybe to remind some of you that the people you ignore, the ones you treat like they are invisible, are carrying stories you cannot even imagine." Victoria swallowed and lowered his head slightly. He knew there was truth in her words, a heavy truth. All around them, guests shifted on their feet. Some looked down, others turned to look at the workers around them. They looked at the catering staff. They looked at the janitors. They looked at the security guards, people they had walked past earlier without even a glance, people like Anna. And slowly, their faces began to change. Respect crept in where pride used to sit. Then a few guests stepped forward. Some were faces from Anna's past, people who had once known her when the foundation was alive. Others were strangers, but strangers with open hearts. "If you ever bring back the Adebayo Foundation," one businessman said, "count me in. I want to support." "Me too," a woman added quickly. "Your family's work changed lives. We won't let that just disappear." Anna smiled softly. Her eyes shone with unshed tears. Maybe it's time," she whispered. She lifted her face slightly, as if she was looking beyond the sky, as if speaking to her parents, as if telling them, "I am still here." When she turned to leave, the crowd moved to the side, but this time it was not because they thought she didn't belong. This time they made way for her, with honor. They opened space, the way people move aside for royalty, because that was what she looked like, a queen. Near the exit, Janet stood waiting beside the car. Her arms were folded, her back rested against the door. A proud, knowing smile rested on her lips. "So," she said with a playful smirk, lifting one eyebrow, "was it enough?" Anna looked back at the shining lights, at the big flowers, at the chandeliers hanging from the trees, at all the things that once made her feel small. Now they just looked empty. Pretty, but empty. She took a deep breath. A breath that sounded like freedom. "No," she said quietly, but with strength. "It's not enough. This is just the beginning." Janet laughed and reached for her hand. She squeezed it firmly. "Damn right," she said with a grin. "Let's go build something so big no one will ever dare to forget your name again." The car slowly pulled away from the estate. The sun was setting, painting the sky with deep gold and soft orange, almost like the world itself was clapping for Anna. She sat by the window, watching the city move past. In the glass, she could see her reflection. Not a janitor, not a broken woman, not someone who had been thrown aside. She saw a woman who had been knocked down but never truly lost. A woman who still carried her crown, not on her head, but in her heart. A crown that no one could give her. A crown that no one could take. If you believe in stories that inspire, that challenge, that give voice to people the world often ignores, hit that subscribe button below. More powerful journeys are coming, and we'd love to have you with us.